everyone, today we are going to be doing my monthly budget updates for the month of April, kind of go through what I spent, how I did, and then we are going to be creating a new budget for the month of May. So to get started, here's my budget journal notebook that I always use. There are a couple categories that I don't include in these videos, so just keep that in mind. Any kind of regular expenses that have to do with bills and things like that are not included. There we go. So here we have the month of April and what we had budgeted last month. And we are going to go through each category and I'm going to show you what I spent, how many trips it may have been, and maybe give it a little bit of explanation if I can. So I'm going to zoom you in real quick so we can get a clearer vision of what I'm writing down. So we're going to start with our irregular expenses, and we have two categories here. We have gas and groceries. So for gas, I had budgeted $75, but what I actually spent was over that. Unfortunately, I ended up spending a total of $95.82, which consisted of 3 times going to the gas station to fill up. Gas has gone up and it's gotten a little bit pricey. I was not able to stay within my budget of $75. 3 times going to fill my car is normal, and I don't think I've ever hit this much money being spent on 3 trips before. So that definitely tells you something right there, which really sucks because I had already bumped up my budget to $75, and now I feel like I'm gonna have to bump it up again because gas prices, I don't know if they're gonna be going down anytime soon. So now we're going to subtract that out. So obviously we are negative, so 75 minus the 95.82 gives us negative 20.82. And then we're going to have to subtract that out to what we had already accumulated, which I usually use what I accumulate from my gas category to pay for my parking passes for work. So that is why I like to have this pretty significant amount here. But we are going to have to subtract from that. So our new total that we have set aside for this category is going to be $402.75. Groceries, I always budget $200 and I really do like to stay within that budget. But yet again, prices have gone up in groceries as well. And so I was over budget. I ended up spending $206.86. So not terribly over budget like I was for gas, but still more than I had wanted to spend. And this was 5 grocery trips worth added all into that amount there. Again, we did overspend a little bit, so our difference will be negative $6.86. Which again, I did have luckily a little bit of money set aside already in this category, so we are just going to subtract that from what we had left over previously. So our new total is now going to be $247.28. I'm just going to zoom you in just a little bit more. Sorry I didn't zoom you in up top, but here's a closer look at that in case you weren't able to see that very well while I was going through it. But we're going to be going through the spending next. So we have entertainment, which was $10. We also have clothing, which was $50 that we had budgeted for. And I didn't spend money in either of those 2 categories. So we are just going to move that dollar amount over into our differences. So 10 for entertainment and 50 for clothing. And then we're going to add that to what we had already accumulated in each of those categories as well. So now for entertainment, I have a total of $140 saved up. And then for clothing, I now have $830.98. Now I am thinking that once this hits closer to 1,000, I am going to stop putting money aside for this because I do need to buy things. I know I need to buy things, and that's why I want to have a good amount set aside for it. But at the same time, I don't think I need to accumulate this category too extensively. For beauty, I actually did make a purchase from Ulta. It was just one purchase, one online purchase, and I had budgeted $50 for this month. And what do you know, I spent over that. I feel like that's going to be a possible trend throughout this video, but I think we did okay in other areas, so hopefully we'll make up for it. I ended up spending $60.34, which means that I am negative. So we are negative $10.34. Now I did have some money left over from last month of beauty spending, and so I'm going to subtract that from what we had already accumulated. So our new total that we have set aside for beauty is going to be $52.46. For decor, I actually did purchase a couple of things. Now, we want to do a couple of updates to our house, and so we purchased a few things for doing those projects, but we haven't done the projects yet. So I bought a shower rod because the one in our current bathroom keeps falling. So we got one that we can screw into the wall so that it doesn't move. And then we also purchased a rug, an indoor-outdoor rug that we can put in our entry like porch area, because we really want to do something with that area. Right now it's completely empty and we just want to spruce it up a bit. So that's the first item that we have purchased for that project. I had budgeted $50 and I ended up spending $41.92. So we are actually within budget finally, which means that our difference is $8.08. So we can add that to what we had already saved up previously for this category, which gives us a new total of $356.18. For furniture, we actually did get our couch, but I haven't started making payments on it quite yet. I think that's coming. This coming month, we're going to start making payments on it. So you'll start to see this number go down over here, and you'll start to see how much I'm spending each month or whatever here. But for now, we are just going to put a blank and move over the $100 and add that up. So our new total that we have put aside for the couch is $1,736.82. For eating out, I have two trips that I am including in how much I spent. So I had budgeted $60 and I ended up spending $43.85 between those two purchases. And then that does leave me with a little bit of money left over, which again is good. So we have $16.15, and we are going to add that to what we had already had set aside for this category as well, which I'm kind of glad that I have a little bit of money here. So our new amount that we have in this category is going to be $195.45. For the gifts and YouTube category, I actually didn't do any spending there. I had meant to do some with gifts, but it just didn't happen. I will be spending some money though this month in May for that, I know for sure. And then the YouTube, again, I just didn't purchase it yet. I am needing a backup battery for my camera because this battery dies so quickly and it gets really frustrating, especially when it cuts off in the middle of me filming. That's to come, but I didn't do it this month. So we are just going to move over the money that we had budgeted for each of those. So we had $25 for gift, and for YouTube we had $50. So we're going to add that up. So our new total for gifts is going to be $175, and then our new total for YouTube is going to be $180.93. We are going to move down into our sinking funds. Right here, we just have three categories. We have car maintenance, home fixes, and medical. And I did have to spend just a little bit actually in car maintenance. Luckily, my tires were under warranty, thank goodness. when I had an issue, so I only had to end up paying $9.99. So that does leave me with $90.01 left over from the 100 that I had budgeted, which means that I can add it to what I am saving for this, which I do want to bulk this up 100% because there is some things, like more expensive things, that I will eventually need to do to my car. So now we have $655.09 saved up for that. We did not do any home fixes, so we can just move over the $100 that I had budgeted and add that to what we are setting aside. So our new amount here is $1,750 set aside for home fixes. And then for medical, this is where we definitely spent a little bit of money. I had a knee injury this past month, and there were some things that went along with that. So it did end up adding up and getting a little bit over budget, we'll just say. So I had budgeted $50 and I ended up spending $85. So it could have been so much worse than that, but luckily, again, I have decent coverage. So 50 minus the 85 means we are negative for this category. We are negative $35, which we are going to take away from what we had accumulated and saved up for this category, which leaves us with a new total of $513.16. Last section here is our savings. We're going to start with Christmas. I obviously did not purchase anything for Christmas. We are not there yet. So I am going to move over the $75 that we had budgeted and add that to what we are trying to save up. So I now have a total of $300 saved up for Christmas so far this year. And then for travel, I did end up having to pay the rest of the amount for the trip that I went on. And so that ended up being a total of $232.09 more than what I had spent last month. So we are over budget from the $100. So that means that 100 minus the $232.09 gives us another negative number. So we are negative $132.09. But we did set money aside for this, so that's good. So I'm going to have a new total for travel of $1,479.61. For the bike, I did finally buy a bike, and hopefully I like it and it works out. And the reason why I say that is because the knee injury happened, I have not been able to test out my bike, which is, it's crazy. Anyway, so I did end up spending $317.99 on a bike. Because that's over the 50, we are negative technically for this month of $267.99. But like I said, we had put aside money for this already, so that leaves us now with a new total in this category for $452.01. Now, I did buy a bike. I'm not going to need this category any longer going forward, so I am going to do something different with this amount that we have left over. So hang in there, stick with me. We are almost done with the spending, and then when I go into the budget, you'll see what I end up doing with that money. I did not buy a shed this month, so I had budgeted 100, so we are going to move that over, add that to what we had already saved, and our new savings amount is $400 for the shed. For the other category, we purchased a blender, and it was a relatively expensive blender, and I didn't really know where to put that, so I put it in the other category. And then I made a purchase at the Dollar Tree, and it was a couple of things. I don't really know how to categorize it, so I'm just going to put that into other as well. So those two things added up to be $122.28, and I had set aside $131 for this month to spend. So we are within budget, so that is good. So we have remaining $8.72, we were pretty close. And then we're going to add that up to get our new total for this category, which is going to be $461.08. All right, so there we go. That is our spending for the month of April. That's how I did. We do have some negative numbers in there, but we also have some positive ones as well. I quickly just switched over to our May budget. I have a couple of things already outlined so we can start going through this. And we are just going to jump right in and start with our irregular expenses. So our gas and our groceries. So as I had mentioned, gas has gotten expensive. So I'm upping my budget yet again for gas, which is not fun. It's really not fun. But my new budget is going to have to be $100 for gas this coming month. And then for groceries, we are going to keep that at $200. Moving down into spending for entertainments, I am still going to set aside the $10. And then for clothing, I am going to stick with the $50. I almost lowered this amount here to kind of make up for the $100 that we're doing for gas, but it ended up working out, so I can still put $50 there. Same with beauty and decor. We are going to be doing $50 for all of those for my budget this month. For furniture, we usually like to keep that at $100, so I am going to keep that the same. As for eating out, I also like to keep that at $60, so we're going to keep that pretty consistent. And then for gifts, we're going to bump it up to $50 because it is Mother's Day in May. My mom's birthday is in May. There's just a lot going on in May, so there will be some money spent in that category for sure. For YouTube, I'm setting aside $50. There are some other things that I want to purchase other than just the battery, the extra battery for the camera. So I am trying to get a little bit of money added up there. Next is our sinking funds. So for car maintenance, we are going to set aside $100 for the budget. For home fixes, we are going to do the same with $100. And for medical, we are going to set aside $50. I am hoping that I don't have to spend as much in medical this coming month. Now here's our savings. Now this might look a little bit different. Christmas, we are going to be budgeting $75 for this month. For travel, we are going to be doing $75 as well. I lowered that from the $100 from last month. And then you'll see a new category. It says puppy, because I have been wanting a dog for so long and they're expensive. I need to be able to save up to get one, bottom line. So I am going to be putting puppy as the new category in place of the bike, and I am going to start this category out with the remaining balance that I had left over from the bike because I want a head start. So that's what we're going to do, and we are going to give this category $50 this month. The shed is getting $100 again, like I did previously, and then the remaining amount usually goes in other. So the remaining amount is going to be $124 this month. That did go down from last month, but that's because I did have to play around with numbers a little bit here. I lowered some, I hired some, so that is what it is. There is my budget for the month of May. That's my April spending and my May budget that we just set. Hopefully we can stick to it and do a little bit better this coming month than we did last month. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more and hit that notification bell to be notified of all of my future uploads. And if you are doing a monthly budget yourself, let me know, what kind of budget are you doing? How are you doing? Did you do a good job this past month? Did you have some negatives like I did? How are you doing? Let me know down below. I love to hear from you guys, so leave some comments and I will talk to you all later. I hope you all have a wonderful and beautiful rest of your day. Take care, everyone. Bye.